Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Today is going to be a little bit more on the classic rock or blues rock side of things. But this is a move. I'm a huge Angus Young fan. Always have just really loved his playing. I've often said that AC/DC is the greatest classic rock band ever. And so it's just one of my favorite bands of all time. And I know there's a lot of, to say there is even a greatest band ever, and it was kind of impossible to do, but they happen to be one of my absolute favorites. So I wanted to talk about, this is just kind of a really common move, obviously, in solos like Back in Black. You can probably recognize sort of where this is coming from, but it's this idea of a turn. It's very much a blues, I call it a tweedly or a turn, or whatever you want to call it, but used in a classic rock context. It also works really well. And so if you're not hip to this move, you need to get that way, and I'm going to show you how. So let's check it out. First of all, I am approaching this from the point of, I'm going to say E minor pentatonic. Or E minor blues, I should say. But I'm kind of looking at it probably not in the way that you're used to looking at it. Let's say that I've got my third finger here at the E. This is the 7th fret on the 5th string. Now, in order to play my E minor pentatonic from here, you might be like, well, that's kind of weird because you're sort of on the wrong finger. Maybe I could sort of do it with my first finger, and I could play box 4. And that would give me the minor blues scale, right? Okay, well, what I kind of want to do is I'm going to go from that E. I can grab the D below it, which is kind of handy. And I've got the E, and then I'm going to go up to the G, and then up to the A, and then I'm going to kind of slide up through my blues note. Okay, so now I've gone from basically box 3 to box 4 to really box 5 or 1. That would be 5. That would be 1. So it just kind of depends on how you want to see this. But the thing that's important to notice is that little clump of notes, okay? So the E, the D, the G, the A, the B flat, and back. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically turn around that A. I'm gonna hammer onto the B flat, which is the blue note, and then I'm gonna pull it off, and I'm gonna do that quickly. And this is kind of a good way to make this work out rhythmically. 1, 2, 3. Or 1. Or 1, 2. It basically starts kind of in the middle of any beat. As long as I start in the middle. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2. 1 and 2. Then it kind of always works out. So it doesn't really matter which beat you want to start on. I just like to start it in the middle of any of them. So as you can see, I'm kind of going through all of the notes. D, I'm starting with the lowest one that I can reach. D, E, G, A, and then I'm going to turn around the B flat. So I've got 4 notes that all happen at once. Pick, 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 hammer on, pull off, pull off. And then what I do is I play the A twice and end it on the G. This is the Angus Young version of this lick. There's a lot of ways you can do this move, and there's a whole lot of places you can go after you're done. But that's the gist of it. I could do it up here, which is again kind of in the top of box 4. As long as you can see that I'm turning around the blue note. If I do it in box 1, Or I could do it box 2. So I can do it any place I have that grouping. Theoretically. Any of them. It's, you know, it's the same notes. And from wherever you're at, you just kind of got to figure out where you're at from there. You know, just depending on where you want to go next in your solo. So what I would suggest is to start with like one place and then get used to, okay, where am I? So right now, that's box 3. And okay, maybe you're not very comfortable in box 3, so you're going to want to get out of it as soon as you can. That's fine. At least you know where you are. If I prefer, maybe I want to go to box 4 and to box 1. It doesn't really matter. The point is, when you learn a lick like that, it's a short phrase. It's kind of a snippet. You're going to have to go someplace else, right, when you get done. So make sure that you pay attention to, you know, where within whatever framework you use to see the notes on the fretboard, how does this fit with that? Like, where can you go from here? The more you spend a little bit of extra time and figure out what could be my next move after this, the more you kind of play with that, the better off you're going to be for so many reasons. The worst thing is to finish a really cool lick and then realize you're lost. And you have no idea, you know, where to go from here. And then you just kind of stop and there's a whole bunch of dead air. And then you end up going to someplace that you know and that you're comfortable, but it's miles away melodically from where you were. Okay, that's what we want to avoid. We want to, you know, hopefully once you do this move and you get it down, you can continue it and do something else. I think that's the goal for many people, you know, is to have something that flows. Also, if you learn how to do this in more than one place, then you can repeat it. And that's really cool because it gives your solos that sense of continuity that you want. Anytime you have a cool idea, it's really nice to be able to repeat that. Okay, so take advantage of those when you have them. Try to take advantage of them. Repeating the same idea at different octaves or in different places within your solo, it adds a lot of cohesiveness. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so that's it. It's a very simple idea. It's not very complicated. Now, obviously, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge as far as if you have trouble, you know, getting the hammer-ons and pull-offs. You can do it with a slide. You could change the fingering, if that's better. That's uncomfortable for me, so I'd do the slide. But that's kind of a quick movement. But it may be that that's really challenging. You could do it with that. So I do the hammer-on pull-off and then a slide. Right, there's a lot of different fingering possibilities. So you may have to take a little bit of time and figure out, again, what works for you. Everybody's got their own, I call it guitar DNA, but it's kind of your physiology. It's the stuff that your fingers are cool with doing. right? And of course, this is kind of assuming there's no injury or whatever, but if there is an injury and maybe you don't have the use of a pinky or you don't have the use of a third finger, what can you do to still get the sound using what you have available? It happens. It's one of those things. So there's a lot of different ways you could conceivably play this, like with the slide, with the hammer-on and the pull-off, a lot of variety there. So hope you dig it. Have some fun with it. As always, if you have guitar playing friends that you think would enjoy this video, I hope you will share it with them. And I'm Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.